In the heart of the Italian peninsula, where the Tiber River whispered tales of destiny, the story of the Roman Empire began. It was a tale with a humble beginning, of a city that would rise to dominate the ancient world. In the 8th century BC, a small settlement named Rome emerged. Its founders were a blend of Latin and Sabine tribes, bound by a shared dream of greatness. Legends spoke of Romulus and Remus, raised by a she-wolf, who would become the city's mythical founders. Rome grew steadily, and its strategic location allowed it to control trade routes and expand its influence. It was a city with a vision, a republic built on the principles of law and civic duty. The young Roman Republic soon faced its first great challenge: Carthage, a powerful trading empire across the Mediterranean. The two titans clashed in a series of epic struggles known as the Punic Wars. The brilliant general Hannibal led Carthage's forces in a daring overland march through the Alps, but Rome proved resilient. Under the leadership of Scipio Africanus, they emerged victorious, and in 146 BC, Carthage fell. Rome's territorial reach extended across the Mediterranean, and it had become a formidable naval power. With Carthage subdued, Rome turned its gaze to the east. The Hellenistic kingdoms, heirs to the conquests of Alexander the Great, were next. The likes of Macedonia, Syria, and Egypt fell before the might of Roman legions. Julius Caesar, a charismatic general, sought to expand his own power within the Republic, leading to the famous crossing of the Rubicon and the subsequent rise of the Roman Empire. Caesar's adopted heir, Augustus, would become the empire's first emperor. Under Augustus, Rome underwent a transformation. The Republic's institutions gave way to a centralized imperial rule. The Roman Empire reached its zenith, stretching from the misty moors of Britain to the banks of the Euphrates River. The Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability, settled over the empire. Roads were built, trade thrived, and Roman law became a beacon of justice. And so, the Roman Empire, born from humble origins and forged through conquest, became the unrivaled superpower of its time. The rise of the Roman Empire was not solely forged by the might of its legions, but also by remarkable innovations. The Romans were masters of engineering. They constructed an intricate system of aqueducts that transported fresh water from distant sources to bustling cities, ensuring a stable water supply. Roads, like the famous Via Appia, crisscrossed the empire, facilitating trade and communication. Bridges, such as the Pont du Gard in Gaul, soared above rivers with awe-inspiring precision. But it was in the construction of monumental architecture that their genius shone brightest. The Colosseum, Pantheon, and the aqueduct-fed baths of Caracalla were triumphs of design and engineering. Roman concrete, an innovative building material, stood as a testament to their ingenuity. As Rome expanded, it recognized the need for a legal system that could govern a vast and diverse empire. The 12 Tables, a foundational code of laws, provided a framework for justice. Roman jurisprudence, the art of legal reasoning, flourished, shaping the principles of modern law. Roman law, like the concept of innocent until proven guilty, found its way into the legal systems of countless nations. Contracts, wills, and property rights were meticulously codified, ensuring the stability of Roman society. Rome's governance was a marvel of organization. It introduced the concept of federalism, dividing the empire into provinces, each with its own governor. A network of couriers carried messages swiftly along the Roman roads. The Roman Senate, while sometimes tumultuous, provided a forum for political debate. The empire's coinage system, with standardized denominations and coin designs, facilitated trade. The Roman calendar, a precursor to our modern calendar, ensured consistency in scheduling and record-keeping. The innovations of Rome formed the foundation upon which the empire was built. They propelled it to unparalleled heights of power and sophistication. As Roman legions marched across the known world, they carried not only the might of Rome, but the legacy of Roman engineering, law, and governance. For those residing in Rome, the city itself was a marvel. Citizens awoke in multi-story insulae, apartment buildings that reached toward the sky. The streets bustled with activity, as vendors peddled their wares in the markets, from fresh produce to exquisite jewelry. For the patricians, life was an elegant dance of leisure and privilege. Their grand villas, adorned with marble and frescoes, were resplendent palaces. Mornings dawned with leisurely breakfasts, and the day unfolded at a tranquil pace. Patricians reveled in intellectual pursuits, engaging in philosophical discussions and embracing the arts. Afternoons were devoted to relaxation, with visits to the opulent baths or strolls through lush gardens. Evenings came alive with grand banquets, attended by the city's elite, and magnificent performances at the theater. Equestrians occupied the middle rung of Roman society, blending ambition with comfort. Their homes, while not as lavish as those of the patricians, were well appointed. Their daily routines were marked by business and trade. Equestrians were a diverse group, engaged in occupations ranging from overseeing businesses to collecting taxes. They were devoted to managing enterprises, whether they were involved in shipping, manufacturing, or commerce. Plebeians, the working class, lived lives marked by industriousness and necessity. They inhabited crowded insulae in urban centers or modest cottages in the countryside. Days began at the break of dawn. Plebeians toiled tirelessly, their work ranging from farming to labor and craftsmanship. From the moment the sun rose until its setting, they earned meager wages, their lives shaped by the demands of work. Evenings offered brief respite, with some finding solace in communal baths or neighborhood taverns. Children often contributed to household chores or embarked on apprenticeships. At the lowest echelon of Roman society were the slaves, their lives bound by servitude. Their homes were quarters provided by their masters, varying from basic to deplorable conditions. Slaves labored ceaselessly, from the earliest light of dawn to the twilight hour. Their tasks were diverse, encompassing agricultural work in fields, household chores, and skilled craftsmanship. Their existence was marked by dependency on their owners, with minimal respite except during occasional festivals and religious ceremonies. Freedmen, once slaves, embarked on a journey to autonomy. Their lives after manumission were as diverse as their individual stories. Some continued in their prior occupations, applying their skills to various trades. Others ventured into new territories, embracing commerce or craftsmanship. Freedmen enjoyed more personal freedom than slaves, but still grappled with social and legal limitations. Despite the challenges, many found success, contributing to the vitality of Roman society. In the vast expanse of the Roman Empire, the sun had begun to set on centuries of glory. It was an empire that had once stretched from the misty highlands of Scotland to the golden sands of Egypt, where the shadows of colossal monuments whispered tales of grandeur. But as the years passed, a creeping darkness loomed. It starts with the distant rumblings on the empire's northern frontiers. Barbarian tribes, emboldened by desperation and driven by hunger, dared to cross the once mighty Rhine River. They pounded at the gates of the Roman world, a harbinger of the troubles that lay ahead. The Gothic horde, led by the cunning Alaric, descended upon Rome herself. In 410, the unthinkable happened. The Eternal City fell to the invaders. The world watched in disbelief as the heart of the empire was looted. As if fate herself had grown weary of the empire, a new crisis emerged within. The once unified Rome had split into two, an eastern and a western half, each with its own emperor. The east, with Constantinople as its capital, remained vibrant and prosperous, while the west grappled with internal strife and external threats. The Vandals ravaged North Africa, the Huns terrorized the eastern borders, and the Western Empire weakened. In 476, a shadowy figure named Odoacer ousted the last Roman emperor in the West. The era of the Western Roman Empire had come to an end. But Rome was not extinguished. It transformed. The Eastern Roman Empire, known as the Byzantine Empire, continued to flourish for centuries. Under Emperor Justinian, it sought to reclaim the lost territories of the West. The famous Corpus Juris Civilis was compiled, codifying Roman law for generations to come. Yet, in the West, the Roman spirit endured. It was carried forward by the rising power of the Catholic Church, whose bishops filled the void left by Roman authority. In the midst of darkness, the light of learning flickered in the monasteries, preserving ancient knowledge. The Roman Empire, once the grand stage of history, had faded into memory. Its legacy lived on in the architecture, law, language, and culture of Europe and beyond. It had bequeathed to the world a legacy of governance, engineering, and culture that would shape the course of history for centuries. And so, the Roman Empire, whose rise had been a tale of ambition and conquest, whose zenith had seen the spread of civilization and law, whose fall had marked the end of an era, entered history as a testament to the impermanence of empires, but the endurance of their legacy. Amid the ruins of the ancient Roman Empire, where the ghosts of history whisper tales of grandeur and decline, there exists a treasury of financial lessons that resonate across the centuries. The rise and fall of Rome offer insights that can illuminate the path toward a prosperous and sustainable financial future. The Romans understood the importance of fiscal prudence. They maintained a stable currency, the denarius, for centuries, which bolstered trade and economic stability. This steadfastness in monetary policy is a testament to the value of financial discipline. They were masters of infrastructure. Their roads, aqueducts, and public buildings facilitated trade, enhanced connectivity, and improved the quality of life. The construction of such monumental structures was an investment in the future. The Roman Empire thrived on trade. Its extensive road network and well-protected sea routes facilitated the movement of goods and ideas. Trade was the lifeblood of the empire, fostering cultural exchange and economic prosperity. In our interconnected world, the lessons of trade and commerce are ever relevant. Embracing globalization and open markets can stimulate economic growth and innovation. Encouraging trade partnerships can lead to shared prosperity on a global scale. While Rome had its elite class, it also valued inclusive prosperity. The concept of bread and circuses reflected the empire's commitment to providing for the basic needs and entertainment of its citizens, ensuring social stability. In our modern societies, the importance of inclusive prosperity cannot be overstated. Ensuring access to education, healthcare, and social safety nets promotes economic well-being and social cohesion. A thriving middle class is a hallmark of a prosperous society. As we reflect on the legacy of the Roman Empire, we find that the echoes of Rome reverberate through time. The wisdom of fiscal prudence, infrastructure investment, trade, and inclusive prosperity transcends the ages. By applying these lessons, we have the opportunity to shape a financial future that is resilient, inclusive, and sustainable. Thank you for watching. Before you leave, check out Cash Crusade, a financial education mobile game that I just released. Links for iOS and Android are in the description. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. If you're new, check out my video on ancient Egypt. Until next time, let us heed the wisdom of Rome and embark on a journey toward prosperity for all, ensuring that the lessons of the past guide us toward a brighter tomorrow.